Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. We're back. Let's put some music. Okay. So, hope everybody's week is going great. We're about to finish the week, and we have this amazing panel. We miss Kara so much. Last week, we had a great topic, and we miss you. So, we have Kara Jean from Taking Care of Business. She's our business coach. We have Irina Pornova, our manifestation coach. We have Bruno, our self-love coach. And today, I misspelled my own name, so today I'm Joe. so, so you see, when you're trying to do 20 things at a time, the multitasking thing is not hard. But to get started, Kara, tell us a little bit about the event that you assisted last.
Oh my gosh, y'all, it was amazing. So I got to go do a summit on last Thursday where I missed you all. I missed you all so much. Hi, everyone. And it was incredible. It was a women's summit for, they didn't really throw a theme down in the beginning, but it ended up being entirely about authenticity and recognizing that it is hard to be authentic because other people might not understand it, but how empowering it feels to go ahead and just do it anyway. Ugh. And the reciprocal nature of the experience that day was people were giving as much as they were receiving, and it was, I'm still about it. It was so good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We were talking just a little bit before we went live that when people get together who have the same energy of growth, the same mindset, the room or whatever you at feels amazing. You can feel the energy. And I was telling them that even though we're not physically present, it feels the same for me because Kara is all the way on the other side of the other coast of the United States. We have Bruno all the way on the other side of the pond. And we have Irina in New York. So only Irina and I share the same time zone.
Woohoo!
That is correct. So let me go ahead and get Kara on her other end. Let me go ahead and get her back. Okay, boom. And welcome back, Kara. There you at. You can go ahead and log off the other one. We're good to go. So last week, just to do a quick recap, we spoke about friends and how sometimes you can feel that they are slowing you down. And Bruno brought up a great point. And he said that you are the combine of the people that you hang around with, which is so very true. I spoke about that you don't want to be the one all the way to the end. You want to be the one in the middle so you can actually grow and learn from the ones above you and help the ones that are working on getting to where you at. Notice that I didn't say below you because nobody is below you. That's what I was telling last time, that is so important for you to understand that you are not here or you're not meant to get rid of friends. You're here meant to grow with them, and if they do not follow the same path, see them, cherish the time that they were with you, and after that, just let it go. So, Irina, we're gonna go ahead and get started with you today. And the question for you today, and I start specifically with you today, is because today is how to set your mind to receive what you want. You are a manifestation coach, and this time we want to set the tone into, okay, now we know where should we be with friends, but how do we set our mindset to actually grow? I don't want you to give tips or tricks on how to get it started, but I want you to explain where their mindset should be, because, and why do I explain this? Anybody can get a blank canvas and start painting, right? But guess what? When that painting is already created, you don't, if you don't have another, you only have one mind, you cannot throw that mind away, but you can fix it and make it better. So that's your canvas. You already have so many things in your canvas. How do you put it nice and neat? That's the beauty about our canvas, the one that we have up here. How do you put it nice and neat so you can go ahead and get started again?
That's a great question. And you know what comes from me? Just rip off that canvas with whatever the freak you draw there. You know why? You know why? Because we can create from the blank canvas. Every day, every day we have a chance to rewrite our story. We have a chance to create the life that really resonates with us, right? So the only beautiful thing is just giving ourselves the permission. Because a lot of people do not know how to give themselves permission. They always depend on everybody's opinion. They consult everybody around before they actually consult themselves. So I think what we are learning with this work, how to make our own decisions, right? And decide that from today, I want to live the life that I envision in my mind, although we do not know how. But how is not our job to know. Our job is to know why do we want something and what exactly we want. Because once we tune into that, our beautiful mind has a way to figure out step by step how to actually come to that beautiful outcome and creation of ours. So the most important thing is to make decision. Because once we decide that this is something that we want, the sky is not a limit. It becomes just, like our creation. Because remember, every reality, as we were talking about it, we do not have to create something. Everything what we want is already existing. But all we have to do is to tap to that frequency.
Okay. So, Kara, do you have any tips that you would like to add? Any more information?
Oh, I was loving that. Interestingly enough, came up in both of my coaching sessions this morning. So I feel like I was primed for this. I did not know what I was coming into, but I'm like, okay, let's do this. So I love, one of the hardest things in life, in my experience, is recognizing the weight that we carry around of other people's expectations. And what surprises me consistently is we carry around the weight of other people's expectations from people who we wouldn't even go to for advice. Yep. You are worried on how they might think, perceive, or judge what you're about to do, but you wouldn't even go to them if you had a challenge or a problem to see what their idea to solve it would be. Why are you carrying that weight? And so much of the time, it's because we don't know. We're simply not aware that we were carrying that much weight behind that. But that's, to Arena's point, that it starts with working on yourself. It starts with figuring out, what do you value? Who do you value? What aligns with what you want to do, so that you can connect and surround yourself with the circle of people whose expectations lift you instead of weigh you down, whose opinions you value and seek out, because they're going to give you, even if you know, and here's the craziest part, even if you know you're going to disagree with that person, like their ideas, their perceptions, their reality is going to come at you in a way that you're like, I don't know that that's right, but you seek it out because it's so different than your own. It helps you see yourself differently, and that allows you the choice to choose something different.
Yep, that is true. I mean, and not only that, sometimes you get people that, as you were saying, people that you don't want to ask their opinion, because you know that they're going to go 100% against with what you think, that you know is right. You know that person actually has the right answer because you've seen the results. Because, as I always say, look for people that have results, and you don't want to touch that subject, because it's gonna hurt you in one way or another. And last week or 2 weeks ago, I had to do it, and I was amazed that, one, the way that I was doing things, actually he agreed with, which is okay. There's a couple things that so that means that I'm becoming a little wiser, not a little older, just a little wiser.
So soon old, so late wise.
No.
That expression.
My grandpa used to say that all the time.
So, Bruno, from the self-love point of view, creating that canvas, as I mentioned, or the way that I like to refer to our mind, what will be just three tips on how to get that mindset from the self-love ready to receive?
Well, so today I was doing like some emails, and that's actually kind of one of the points that I kind of touched on, which was how can we rightfully own the power that is rightfully ours, right? And there was the three tips that I had was compound effect, right? Success is just a set of habits that we do consistently and that they add up to big results. Going from to I have to do this to I get to do this, right? To I get to wake up, I get to walk, talk, run, feel, do everything, right? So it goes from, again, powerless mindset to powerful mindset, right? I have the opportunity. The power here is in the freedom of choice. And also the I should do this to if I could, I would do so on and so on and so on and so on, right? So those are really the three tips.
I
But
love it.
I will give you a bonus one. Whatever you imagine, again, right? Irina knows this, everybody knows it, but especially Irina because she is the manifestation coach, right? But whatever you're imagining, you're doing it to yourself, right? And so the canvas you paint on your mind, you want to paint kind of a wood one. Kara like this. Kara something to say. But whatever, like if you imagine you're doing something to somebody, you're really doing it to yourself, because it's going to happen to you under situations where it will happen to the other person, right? Because you're planting the energy of the other person in your own mind, right? And so it's so that was the bonus tip.
So I love the way that you put it, Bruno, and I'm gonna go from the last one to the first one, because it's so important for people to understand whatever you set your mind to do, the rest of the world, the rest of the spirit, your soul, it will play out to follow through what you really, really want. Okay? Please don't get me wrong on the idea that you want it, therefore you desire it, and then you just wait and do nothing. Please don't do that, because that's not what we're saying. I think please raise your hand if you say don't do nothing, just want it and just sit down, right? Nobody here will ever tell you that, but we will tell you, or at least me. Let me speak about me, because I cannot speak for everybody. But I will tell you, if you want it, make sure you have a burning desire for it. 1, 2, make plans. And let me tell you, hint, plans are never gonna go according to plan. Mainly if your dream is big and your desires are big, let me tell you, there are gonna be so many curveballs that you're gonna wish you just throw the towel and walk away, and you're gonna be like, why? And that's why the 4 points that Bruno brought up are so important. Number 1, set your mind for it. Okay? Desire it, put it in your mind. Then the last one he spoke, and I'm going from the last one back to the first. He spoke about compassion. He spoke about, let me go ahead, if I could, I would do this. Why? Because 1, it allows you to dream. And 2nd, it gives you that freedom that if I could, like, meaning if you don't reach it, it's okay. You're not going to be harsh on yourself. I'm not saying, don't fight hard for your goals. Again, and I'm going to be really clear on it, because people can misunderstand and say, you know what? I tried and I couldn't. That's it. I give up. Let me go for a new dream. No. All we're saying is just please put it there, try it, try your best, and the next day, like Irina said, start with a new canvas again with the knowledge that you collected from the previous day. The other thing that Bruno said is to be thankful, to be grateful. He did mention it straight up. use, instead of I have to do this, I get to do this. Like, how amazing is that how amazing is that I get to talk to all of you through this camera, people that I haven't met, that I would love to meet, and hear their life stories and learn from their life stories. I get to do this. Isn't that awesome? And the first one that Bruno mentioned, Bruno, refresh me a little bit on the first one.
So it was the compound effect.
The compound effect. Okay. The compound effect is the being grateful, the being open to receive, and having that, but doing it little by little, day by day. I know Bruno he must have gotten disconnected. He'll come right back in. But the thing is that be mindful that Rome was not built in one day. And if your dream is really big, it might not be built in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And I'm not telling you that, having to wait this long is bad. It's just that everybody reaches their goal at different times. And whatever time you reach is good. Just make sure you enjoy the process. Along the process, you're going to be changing. You're going to be becoming a better person. You will become a more compassionate, more loving. And when I say that, is in all aspects. I'm not talking just business. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about connections, about dedication to other people. A lot of people, and I think I said this in a previous show, a lot of people think that being a leader, it's easy. Because they get to travel, they get to do this, they get to. But you don't know what that person has had to go through to get to do that. So be mindful that your journey is your journey, and it cannot be that. You can learn from somebody else's journey, but they're not gonna be too alike. That I can tell.
Johnny,
So,
can I just add to that?
yes, please.
It just like today, I posted in my Facebook group, I posted that beautiful poster where it says, "You are crazy. People think 2 to 5 years in business is a long time to get rich, but do not feel that 40 to 50 years at a job is long term and they are still broke."
And that's the sad part. And they still broke. It's hilarious how people sometimes can point at you and tell you, "Oh my God, you didn't get like a college degree. Oh my God, you didn't do this and that, and that's why your life is the way it is." And then you fast forward your life, and those that went through the traditional route, because I'm not knocking it yet, you see them stuck where they at, and that's it. They have that 40-40-40 plan. For 40 years, so you can have, if lucky, another 40 years of leaving with 40% of the money that you couldn't already leave with. That is what I call the 40-40-40 plan. You can't. So that's why we're here, to try to figure new ways and help other people, get inspired. Now,
I have a thing. Can I share a thing? This ties into sort of what everybody has been saying. So I want to kind of habits and dreaming. I'm going to connect those two things in probably a way you've never heard of, because I just learned about it. And then I put it in my language, so it's going to get weird. But I discovered in chatting with some academics this last week on genetics and epigenetics and all of that stuff, because I'm in. Did you know it takes only 20 seconds to give birth in your brain to a new neuron?
what?
Men, women, children, aged, doesn't matter. You create birth in your brain every 20 seconds you think about something. So, if you're creating little neuro babies by thinking a thought, choosing to say, "I can," or "I'm going to," or "I desire this," or whatever that little neuro baby that you want to create, and you decide to do that, and just for 20 seconds think about it every day, you're not only giving birth but nurturing that creation inside you every day. Isn't that
How
amazing?
cool! Oh my God. It's mind blowing.
Love those little neuro
Miracle.
babies.
Miracle.
Yes, that is amazing. Well, you gotta
I mean,
take care of them.
think of it like a kid, right? So if you birth this thought and then you feed it once a day, it will survive, right? But if you birth a thought and you feed it 3 times a day with snacks, and you give it extra love in the morning and extra love at night, just like you would a child, what could that grow into, and how quickly could that grow into a whole pathway in your brain that has changed you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Process. It's not about how soon you get to go, is seeing that go flourish. You know, I don't remember if it was the Japanese or Chinese culture. I don't recall which one it was. If anybody out there in the audience knows, I'll be happy to get confirmation. But in their culture, they say that, you know, a business that has 20, 30, 40, up to 50 years is just a startup business. Just a startup. After 50 years, where most of us say that a 50-year business is so well established, more than well established, right? To them, it's like, and they were showing in this show that I was watching that they had a business that had been there for over 200 years. That was the first business recorded in that country, and I don't remember it was China or Japan, but it was one of those 2 countries, and I was like, wow. We think that, you know, having a business for the first year is like, oh my God, amazing, and then going through the troubles that you get in the second, third, fourth, and 5th years, like,
Amazing.
and then after you get to 10th year, like, I'm really, really established right now. I'm starting to learn that being established is when you can actually say, you know, to your next generations, guys, you can do this with your eyes folded, and you can run the ship. And that is a big change. And reeling it back into, you know, how to set your mind is that everything that everyone has spoken here, that is resetting your mind. I know Karen and I, we spoke a long time ago because her and I, we don't see eye to eye on some things. You know, doesn't mean that it's wrong. But I am a firm believer that when everything's not going your way, pick up a book. There's people who don't like reading. Hey, sometimes when I'm running, I have an audiobook. I'm not gonna say that I have a book in my hands all the time, but I do listen to audios, and I love learning that way. And if you don't get to do that, figure out somebody who's in your community that is making the impact that you would like to be making, and figure if you can grab a cup of coffee with them. Look, unfortunately, some of the people that you are looking to meet, they might be too busy. Don't get discouraged. Keep going. But a book is a good way of getting your canvas ready. And I say getting your canvas ready because in the next few minutes, we're going to be talking about, okay, now that your canvas is ready, what do we do? Okay?
Can I just add something?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So you're talking about books. First of all, I read a lot of books, but I don't listen or read like the whole book. I just get what I want and then I read it.
Okay.
Right?
I
Because
love you bring that up.
you know, because like look like what I mean, I mean, not everything interests me in the goddamn book. Like, honestly, I just want to get the key tips. I want to get the conclusions. I want to get the insights, and I want to get the strategies. I want to write everything down, and then I want to make my own conclusions. So I don't, it's not like plagiarism, right? So, like, yeah.
And I love that you brought that up, because here we have, I think, different ages. Among all of us, we're all at different ages, and I think that's where I actually agree with Kara, where not everybody's the same, because older generations, they would actually pick up the book. They would not talk to people, because remember, back then, talking to people was not the thing to do. If you were a kid, you shouldn't be near adults when they were talking, right? That was very disrespectful. Kids around adults talking, oh, you're gonna get a spanking. So, but generations have made it into what we have now in society. Society has evolved, where now kids are the ones who run the show. God forbid you're close to a teenager and listening to their conversations. They will be giving you the spanking because you just invited their privacy. And that's it. You don't understand me no more. So society has changed. And the reason why I'm saying that is because most of us use WhatsApp. I think all of us use WhatsApp. Check when you're talking to your moms. You text them, hey, good morning, or something like that. Something short. Like, you're straight to the point. Like, we're running. And they start recording audio. And then you go, you have breakfast, you go and take a shower, you wash the dishes, and you check your WhatsApp, still recording audio. You finish that, you do your work, come back, still recording audio. By the time that is like a few hours have gone by, you finally see the audio there, and then a message. I love you. I'm going to ask you a few things about this. I'm not sure about everything that I told you, and I have questions. So then you have to listen to this really, really, really long audio. But the younger generations were not like that. We're more straight to the point, like Bruno said. He's even younger than me. I will read the book from cover to cover. And I will actually do the research before I get the book, because I don't want to waste money. So by the time that I get to the book, more than likely I read the most important things of the book somewhere else. But I'll get the book. And to Bruno's point, that is true. Newer generations. My daughter was telling me that she studies somewhat like that. She reads this, and this, and this, and she goes and tests. And somehow, miraculously, she gets straight A's. So I'm not going to knock anybody's way of doing things. That's where we are different. So I love that you brought that up, Bruno. So let's go ahead and start with what I think starts making the change, what starts moving the engine into the direction of reaching those goals. So let's talk first about 3 things that we have in common, everybody in this planet. We all have friends, right? We all have families, and we all have neighbors. On those 3, we all have that. Unless you're in the middle of the jungle or the middle of the desert and you have no neighbors, that's a different story.
Sometimes I wish.
Don't say that too loud. Your neighbor will hear you.
They're hearing me now. They're hearing me now, so I don't give a shit.
Neighbor, jump into the conversation if you're there. Anyways, so we're going to start from friends. As we spoke last time, friends are people that either can tell you straight up to your face that you're not doing great and they would love to see you do great, or people that actually hold you by the hand, and not exactly by the hand, but they help you see the way. Okay? So once your mindset is ready to receive, let's start talking to the friends that you respect the most, like Kara was saying, and tell them, if you don't know what your gift is, because that happened to me, I did not know what my gift was, tell them, what do you think I should be doing? Who should I be talking to in order to better my gifts? Sometimes you'll be amazed at what they say. Look, today in today's episode, I've spoken a lot. Back then, when I didn't know my path, I was shy. You would not hear my voice, and that's what helped me. A friend told me you should be in communication, you should be with people, you should be with. And in reality, that's where I flow. That's where I'm happy. Okay, what other tips when you just getting started? Let's not go really far. Who would like to add one more tip? What are the things to do with a friend? Because we're gonna go in each one of them. What to do with a friend in order for you to grow?
Well, honestly, can I carry? Thank you. You know, like if you and that friend like are very that close, why doesn't he take you to the same places where he started or where she started, right? Ask him to show you his background or her background, right? And where he was or where she was, right? And what he did or where she did, right? Ask him or her opinions of like whatever he did, like whatever like routine he had in that place, right? And how you can be creative with things that you do, right? Because sometimes when we see where other people were and where they are now, and they take you there, and it is a friend, right? Or because like that's the thing. For example, like you're not the only person with those gifts, right? So if you have a friend that has the same gifts as you, and they are really like further away, more in their life where they want to be, and you're inspired by that, great. That's exactly who you should go to ask for opinion, right? Because they have what you want, right? Maybe they don't have everything that you want because you want it in your own way, but generally speaking, they do, right? And so, but yeah, I feel like asking that person to take you to where the person was, or take you through like what the person did, right? Which is generally speaking normal, but that comes a lot verbally. I'm talking about imagery, right? I'm talking you seeing with your own eyes, right? Like taking you to that place, right? I feel like that's also good because the brain also needs images, right? It's also a type of confirmation, right? That you also can do it, right? So yeah.
Okay, Sarah, you have something to say.
I love the modeling. I think modeling is fantastic. I would go back to almost kind of what Johnny was saying. One of the reasons that I count Johnny as such a close friend is that we do disagree. And we come to the table and we have that conversation. And we can leave the table in disagreement and still caring for each other. And I value that in the friends that I collect around me. I want them to be comfortable disagreeing with me. I want to be comfortable disagreeing with them, and know that just because we disagree doesn't mean that I think any less of you as a person. I just don't agree with that. That doesn't align with the experiences and BS that drives my life.
Mhm.
But I love that for you, and I love you, so I don't need us to agree all of the time. I need to know that we can align, not that we agree. And finding people you can disagree with comfortably, those are some of the best people you will ever have in your life.
I agree with you on that one 1,000%, Sarah.
I also have something to add. Can
Sure.
I?
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, I'm quiet today. So, what I wanted to say, for me, the most important thing that I value in my friends is holding the space for me. It's not necessarily to provide me with opinion, because I kind of know where I'm going. I have my mentors for that. But for them, just, like be there for me, be present and hold the space, even though if they do not believe, but they kind of still hold that space, like just be silent and be there for me. That's for me the value of the friendship.
Yeah, that is a very valuable thing to have. People that they have your back. That's so important. And that takes me or catapults me to the next one. We all have these lovable people that we don't choose, but they're in our lives. They're called family. We don't choose them. We may like most of them. Some of you would say all of them. Liars. But but it is true. We all have them. And I'm going to start with something negative, but not negative. Negative from the point of view of how it can make you view yourself, and how it can create a self-doubt cloud on top of you. Many people would be, mainly your parents, will be scared of you trying to go a different path than what they did. So they will tell you right away that your dreams are not possible. They're not gonna happen. Please get serious, grow the F up, and find a F job. Okay? And look, I'm all about having a job, having, the things that you want, but on your own terms. On your own terms. There's a song that I love. A lot of people may know it. A lot of people may not know it. And if you haven't heard it, it's called I Did It My Way. It's kind of like the reason why I wake up every morning. I did it my way. I don't care if I die today. If right now, after I finish the life, I take my last breath, I know that I did everything mine. There will be no regrets on my end. So I'm starting with that one because we all have it. And usually they're the ones who will cloud your judgment if you should follow a dream or not. Okay. Who would like to add a tip on, again, remember, we're all talking about how to set our mindset to receiving what we want. Sure. Okay.
So specifically around family, but this really applies to anybody in your life. One of the things that we have done in my family is we recognize that we love each other. Pretty much just across the board, I love you. You are a human being. You are in my life. I love you. But that does not mean that I like you all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
There are behaviors that you have that I do not like. There are ways that you talk that I do not like. There are things that you say to me that I do not like. And I don't like that. I can still love you, but I don't have to like every aspect or thing that you say or tell me. And I can still love you while disliking things. And so we say I love you. I mean, I say it so liberally, like I'm hanging up the phone with the cashier and I'm like, love you, bye. And I'm sure they're like, did she just say I love you? Weird customer. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. But when we're really caring about somebody in my life, when I look at people, I go, I like you. Like, I don't just love you. I like you. I like who you are. I like how you live in the world. I like the way that you present who you are to other people. I like you. And for us, that's a lot bigger than just I love you. You can love anybody and not like them at all. But to like someone and choose to be around them, that's a gift.
You know what?
Yeah, go ahead, Irene. Go ahead.
I wanted to add also to that, don't just, be in the space of your friends. Seek for the like-minded people. That's exactly what's gonna get you what you want, because these are the people who also have the similar goals and dreams. And these are the people who always gonna support, always gonna, celebrate you, always gonna be inspiring you.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to be surrounded. And the next question is, where do I find them, right? Well, there are a lot of Facebook groups. Join the groups that, you're going after something with your interests, right? Join the Facebook groups, make friendships, and the internet is there. Attend the online networking events. Do something about it. There are a lot of ways where you could actually become a part of the community that is meaningful for you.
Mm-hmm. So Irina jumped to our very, very next subject. We'll be back to that one, I promise you, in a second, because we're still focusing on families. We're going friends, families, and then neighbors. And neighbors comes the community. So we'll be jumping on that one in a second, because I want to touch on these three subjects because we all have gone through it. We've all had that well-intentioned family member that want us to do great, and they want you to do great, but somehow they tell you something that will cloud your judgment on what to do.
We might have been that family member to someone else.
You're 1,000% right. That was
I want to say something.
Yes.
So I had a lot of this while I was growing up. My own mother left laughed with her back turned towards me when I said that I was going to live by myself when I was 19. And I was like, really? Like that's all that's what you have. You don't even want to laugh in my own face. Great, awesome. Perfect. But you see, I had to learn that it doesn't come from a bad. It's bad behavior. It's like that's not normal. Come on, like, are you my mom or are you like, do you want to like kill me? Right? Like, but it's more like it's because there's this sense of protection, right? It's like parents want to protect their kids, but it's wrong, right? Because you go like, because there's a thing, as much as you don't want the kid to suffer because you know the kid will suffer along the way, right? You know, it's like you have to let the kid go, right? Because like, you know, you should know that the kid is going to suffer, sure, but you should also be confident in him because you raised him properly, unless you did a bad job as a mom or a father. And I don't mean this with any disrespect whatsoever, but look, it's your job as a father or a mother, right, to prepare the best that you possibly can in your abilities, possibly impossible, so when your kid goes into the world, he has all the key abilities, right, to destroy everything that appears in his path or her path, right, and just win. Some failures along the way, sure, but winning, right? But that sense of protection should happen. For example, I'll give you an example. I saw this some time ago, and the difference between a person who's going to grow up to be a people pleaser and the person who's going to grow up to validate more his or her own opinion, right, than other people's, is when you're a baby, and for example, right, there's a baby and there's a father, and the baby goes to the father and says, oh, daddy, or mommy, what do you think about this? And the father was like, oh, you know, a little bit more like this, or the mommy was like, oh, no, very good. Instead of giving them their opinion, ask, no, what do you think about it? Right? Because that is single-handedly one of the most important behaviors and questions that a father or like a parent will teach their kid, because that will ultimately shape the way that kid will grow up to see the world and see the person, and that will ultimately be like, because if that validation that comes from other people grows up to be real bad, and that has major effects on somebody's psychological. You don't even know if that person is going to kill herself, right? And that little behavior there, like such a simple phrase, it's incredible how it can have such a, like that key behavior that can be learned can have such a incredible, how would you say, like incredible key effect on the person's development, right? Especially on women, for example. Like I am learning a lot about women. I've been watching tons of documentaries because it helps me, especially with the books as well, with helping women in what I do, right? And we're always learning and they're always growing. And I'm watching a documentary right now, a documentary called Misrepresentation, right? I have a documentary I'm watching called Misrepresentation, and he was talking about, you know, like statistics of women in Congress, and you know how there was never a female president in America and all that, and now the media portrays women, and now men eventually look at media and they see women, and now perfectionism this and shame and guilt comes from that, right? And if parents could also play the part in when they raise like their daughters into what do you think, rather than, oh, this is this, right? Yes, give your opinion, right? But more than that, ask her, right? What does she think about it? Because that teaches her on how the most important thing is her opinion, right? And what she believes it's best for her, right? And that will ultimately push her forward so much more, right? Because confidence is bad, right? Sometimes in women, right? Like there's like, I think it was like 40, 50, 60% of women between the age of 12 and 14, girls between the age between 12 and 14, they have like severely anxiety because they're overthinking in their mind that like they're gonna end up in their like mom's basement, you know, if they don't get like a boyfriend with like a massive GPA and whatever. They're gonna die alone and everything. And It's like it's massive pressure at a young age, and that's just it's exhausting, right?
Mhm.
So that's one thing, and then just to like wrap it up when it comes to family, right? Look, like the work you need to do depends on you, not on your mom, on your father, right? Depends on you only, right? They're just saying that to protect you. They're projecting their insecurities. They're projecting what they would do in your situation, and what they would do in your situation has nothing to do with what you would do. You're not your father. You're not your mother. You're not your parents. You're not their values. You're not their morals. You're not their ideals. You're not their ethics. You are you. You have your own morals, your own ideals, your own ethics, right? They may have shaped it a little bit, but ultimately, you're not them, right? You don't have their personality. You don't have their character. You don't have their face, right? You are you, and they don't believe what you believe, and ultimately, everybody needs somebody to show them it is possible, right? And also, don't hate on you. Don't
Bruno,
hate
I
your.
don't mean to cut you off. It's just that we
Yeah,
have a
sure.
few more minutes.
Absolutely.
Kara's about to leave, and
No,
we can actually create a whole topic on it. I'm so
problem.
sorry. I know you got passionate just now.
No, it's
I'm
alright. It's
so
okay.
sorry.
No, don't worry. Let's go.
But the next thing we're gonna wrap it in literally 2 minutes. Please, let's go ahead and go straight to the point. Bullet
Yeah.
points at this point. Bullet points. No more, no more really long ones. So the last one is community, and that's the part that I really want to drive to, because we all are part of communities. Is, well, the community. Irina started it. Find your tribe, like Kara always says. So one place where you can actually find a fantastic community is Kara. What's the name of your community? Kara's Corner. Kara's Corner.
Kara's Corner. Yes.
There you go.
Put it in
The
the thing.
next one is going to be Irina's. And what's the name of your community, Irina?
Uplift and self-talk
There we
Facebook group.
go. Bruno, do you have a community?
Yes, I do a Free Love Spirit Tribe group on
There we
Facebook.
go. And with me is E3, or Empower Entrepreneurial Education. There are 4 communities right now that we all belong to, and we would love to see you there. We would love to help you out in any which way we can. I would love to extend this a little bit more, because I have 20,000 topics, but we have to respect everybody's time. So, guys, thank you very, very much. We'll see you all soon. We have one flyer that I want you all to see real quick. Let me go ahead and put it up. And Irina, please go ahead. You have 30 seconds.
Woohoo! Just join my event with 28 speakers who are going to be talking about manifestation, how to supercharge your manifesting powers. This is masterclass series. Please join. The link is lifepalette.net supercharge, and come and learn how to actually 10x your manifestation skills, even though you never have been successful before. Come join and attend the event, and you'll receive lots of great tools and breakthroughs.
There we go. So take advantage. Now you have a session where you can learn a lot more on how to grow. And on the meantime, till next Thursday, I love you all. Bye. Thank you.